الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا ما يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمد عبده ورسوله وعلى آله وأصحابه قال سبحانه وتعالى أما بعد. Give a whole lot of people giving their 2 cents on everything. So I figure I give my 10 cents on a thing or two. One thing, you have a lot of black leadership giving their views on the black situation, not knowing what they're talking about, giving half-ass versions of everything, and leading us down a path of further ignorance. But I'll keep it plain and simple. American black people need to be separated so we can evolve into our own civilization, just like everybody else had a chance to do. Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, those islands down there, those people aren't Haitians. Those people aren't Cubans. Those people aren't really Puerto Ricans or Dominicans. The native people of those islands was annihilated. What they are African slaves that was given those islands by the Spanish and by the Portuguese. Yeah. And they was allowed to have their own land. The same thing that was done with the Jews after World War II. What they call the white Jews, the people who claim to be Jews, but it don't make a difference because the people that's claiming to be Arabs aren't really Arabs either. You know what I mean? So you have the pot calling the kettle black. The people that's supposed to be Arab pointing at these fingers at the people that the Jewish talking about they fake Jews, when the people that's over in Arabia right now, they fake Arabs. But anyway, the same thing was done with the children of Abraham, which is what we are, in Egypt. What happened? The Pharaoh was killing the Israelite children at his discretion. He was holding them back. He was hindering them from obtaining any equality in Egypt. You think that the Jewish Israelites didn't contribute to Egypt? Yes, they did. A vast amount. But they wasn't ever going to get on equal playing field with the Egyptians, because the Egyptians was going to always keep them in a situation where they was held back. And that's the same thing that's happening here. The Europeans came over here and conquered this land. The Europeans knew this land was here all the time because they had maps that was given to them by the Arab Moors, by the black Arab Moors, when they was fighting against the Arabs during the Crusades. The Arabs already knew that the two of the tribes of Israel came over here to the United States. That's why when you speak into Google and say Egyptian artifacts found in the Grand Canyon, it'll tell you and it'll explain to you that hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds of gold artifacts was found in the Grand Canyon. Because what did Moses ask for? He asked for wealth. He asked for wealth, and he asked for land, and he asked for enough women where the men could procreate, where they could multiply and wouldn't have a problem with the subduing the land wherever they came to. And that's what we were supposed to ask for. We're not supposed to ask for civil rights or equal rights in a country that doesn't belong to you. White men are not going to give you equal anything in this land. They shouldn't do it. They supposed to kill you. They supposed to poison you. They supposed to hold you back and hinder you any way that they can. They're going to continue doing it. I used to always say that, black people don't love each other enough. Black people don't spend enough wealth on each other. They don't share enough this, that, and the other. I used to feel the same way until I realized that if you started loving each other enough, then a hidden hand will come in there and disrupt it. If you started an organization or founded a school that started educating black people and doing things the right way, a hidden hand will come in there and disrupt it. And it would always be that way. No matter what you did, if you did anything positive, then the Europeans, white men, not women now, that's the problem. You don't have a problem with white women. You have a problem with the white man. The white man will find some way to interrupt it, which he should. If you got somebody living in your basement and they down there building something, it's your right to be able to go down there and see what they building. And if they building something that you feel like that will disrupt or harm the integrity of your house, it's your duty to scuttle it. And that's what the European will always do. We have to have our own land. We have to be somewhere where we can, our culture can flower, can bloom, where we can bloom and grow into a nation of people uninterrupted by the white man. And let me tell you something. When you finally do this, he's going is going to be in a way where some type of way he's going to have control of the situation, and it's up to you to try to find a way to in the future be able to remove this influence, because he's not even going to let you do this without a backup plan. It's his duty to do that. He's afraid of you. You know who you are. You don't know who you are. You the same people who has to travel with the covenant of the Ark of the Covenant. Every nation that the Ark of the Covenant was in was the most powerful nation. Egypt, uh, Rome, um, Persia, any place where the Ark of the Covenant was, the children of Israel had to accompany it. So 9 times out of 10, the Ark of the Covenant is in this country right here. That's why we are held captive in this country right here, and we're not going to be given a place. We've been held here hostage. We hostage in this land, just like we was hostages in Egypt. And until we are allowed to have our own land, until we are allowed to leave the country that belongs to the European man, that's his. He came over here and conquered it from your brothers, killed and murdered your brothers, but nonetheless, he did it strategically, and it belongs to him right now. It does not belong to you. And as long as you keep on dreaming or keep on believing that he's going to put you in a situation where you will one day be on an equal playing field with him, so you can overdo him, so you can overraw him, and eventually overpower and take what's his. If you think that this individual that you are dealing with will put you in a situation to be able to do that, you are crazy. He will never, ever, never, ever, never, never, ever, never allow you to be in a situation where you can overpower him. Well, just like the Tuskegee, the experiment where he gave thousands of black men syphilis. Had these people thinking that he was giving them vaccinations. He was injecting these people with syphilis. What you don't know is what he was doing was he was injecting black farmers. So the syphilis will put him in a state of madness, and eventually he stole all the land, all the farms from the black people. At one time, blacks owned a large percentage of the farms. And what happened when you got caught doing this? Oh, I won't do it no more. Got slapped on the wrist. Then what happens in cities all across the nation? All across the nation, they paying out pennies for black people who got lead paint poison. They took and blamed it on lead paint, even though nobody saw their children eating a great abundance of paint on the wall, and you wasn't watching them, where they was eating handfuls of paint every day, and they blamed it on this when the whole time, and even today, they putting lead in your water. Why are they putting lead in your water? Because you got more carbon atoms in your cells in your body than white Europeans did. So uh, the lead will bond more quickly, more electromagnetically, quickly, more fast with your DNA than it will with the Europeans. This is what you dealing with, man. You dealing with people who are doing this to you right now. And you thinking you can live with these people? No, man. You got to be as far away from these white men as you can. Let all the white women, intellectual white women that want to help us, be allowed to come, but no white men. We got to go. We got to get as far away from it as we can. And then we was told the big lie that we was from Africa. The biggest lie. Everything that this man tells you is a lie. We running around here with elephant lamps and big giant spoons and forks hanging off our wall. All these crazy looking African artifacts, and not even have the sense to realize that we got reddish brown skin. We don't have black skin. We're not the children of Ham. You know what I mean? We're not from Africa. We from Asia or from the Middle East. That's where we from. We the other group of the children of Abraham, the Arabs, the American Indians, the ones with the reddish brown skin. And the fact that we have nappy hair is proof that we not mixed. Because if we was mixed, we would be like those people over there and those imposters over there in the Middle East right now with straight hair. Or the people that's over India right now that's dark and got straight hair. We got nappy hair. This is proof that we're not mixed. We got totally different DNA than people from Africa. No matter how much I be in the sun, I will never ever get black. I'll just get redder. I've been doing construction work all my life, working directly in the sun, and this is the darkest you know what I mean, I can get. You know what color we would be if we wouldn't be in the sun, like Beyonce color. We red. We the gold people, the Rubinoid tribe. We Rubinoid. We not Negroid, but and the one language, we was told that one language was stolen from us. We all had a common net language. This is proof wasn't from Africa, because Africa has hundreds of different languages and thousands of different dialects. So when they brought people from Africa, they didn't have to separate them because of their language. Because the people that came from Africa and the Caribbean, they all had to adopt it, had to learn Spanish, had to learn one language anyway, because they couldn't understand each other anyway. Our one language that we knew was Arabic, and the religion that we had was Islam. That's why the people that's over there in the Middle East today not practicing Islam anything like it should be practiced. If they was us, then they would still be fighting against the European the way we was fighting against them. No, he removed the real children of Israel off their land and replaced them with imposters. That's why these people hate us more than anybody because they got the white man's blood flowing through their veins. Just like these Mexicans that down here that black people love so much. Don't you know that these Mexicans are nothing but white men with a little bit of brown skin? The white men went down there in South America and killed all the men and raped the women with the most brutal form of rape imaginable. That's why those white men that down there, those Spanish men down there, so damn nasty. Because they got the white man's perverted blood flowing through their veins. And they hate black people. And when you look down, do any investigation about South America, you'll find all these paradise hideaways for white people. Places in South America that ain't nothing but European white people, Germans and whatnot down there. They turned South America into a haven for white people. And not only that, is you go all around the Pacific, they got all kinds of thousands of different islands that they done turned into paradises for white people. Yeah, they had the native black people living in there in very small amounts out in the suburbs and grass huts and everything. But they live in, they done took over these people's land and they done turned these places into paradises and whatnot. And got us living in slums everywhere around the world. So, just to give some spiritual and guidance to my people because they've been listening to nothing but garbage. Don't let your people, your knowledge come from people who read books because those books was written by white men. And even if they was written by black men, they was written by black men who read books and studied from white men. So let your knowledge come from people who got spiritual knowledge that are black. People who was led to places, the sources of information by the Spirit, who was guided by the Spirit. All right, that's all I got to say about that.